BCC, basal cell carcinoma, versus, which is BS, AK, actinic keratosis. When we're going this fast through the chapters, y'all try to make a little bit of time for those chapter review questions and the scenarios. They're really good. Let's look at page 98. We'll do one of these scenarios together. Procedure notes on the outside world are not this detailed, first of all, but this is what we would love to see. For testing purposes, you guys will get cream of the crop. Number 9, operative note number 1. The procedure is performed is excision of a melanoma in situ on left dorsal forearm. When I'm coding like this, I usually try to highlight the keywords or underline as I'm going. It makes it easier when I'm referring back to the code. So your keywords here: excision, melanoma in situ, left dorsal forearm. Also, excision with layered closure of the right lower leg. So, keyword excision, layered closure, right lower leg. You've got what happened, the description of it, and the location. Now, your preoperative diagnosis, which is what the doctor thought it would be, or diagnosed it as prior to the surgery, was melanoma in situ, left dorsal forearm, and basal cell carcinoma of the right lower leg. And the postoperative diagnosis was the same. And the indications: well-marginated erythemas, slightly scaly plaques, posterior right lower leg. And it tells you there that a previous biopsy revealed a superficial basal cell, BCC, basal cell carcinoma. Patient is allergic to codeine. Patient takes the following medications. The informed consent was obtained. Risk of the procedures, including bleeding, infection, scar, and recurrence, explained. Patient knowledge and understanding of these potential complications. You'll always get a statement like that. Now, for your procedure, you're always looking for key things. It says here the preoperative measurement of the lesion on the right lower leg was 0.9 centimeters. Right lower leg, 0.9 centimeters is what I underline. The proposed excision lines were drawn. Anesthesia was delivered locally. That tells you right there it's included in the procedure. You haven't got to give an anesthesia code. Local anesthesia is included. With 12.0 cc's of xylocaine and epinephrine. It was cleansed with betadine, cyproprolol drape. An incision was performed with a number 15 blade, 0.5 centimeters outside the margin of the identified neoplasm, extending deep. So you've got right there your margin, 0.5. We don't know at this point of the note if that was actually included with lesion, but I always underline. Through the dermis and into the subacute fat, the excised diameter, and this is what you're looking for, total pre-op dimensions including margins. So remember I said I'm going to underline that 0.5 centimeters outside the margin. I don't need it anymore. It tells you right there that the diameter plus margins is 1.9 centimeters. Circle that. The specimen was tagged at the superior tip. Tissue was dissected from the patient with care to preserve the solid features. The surgical site was undermined to a distance of 2.0 centimeters. Hemostasis was obtained with electrocautery. That means that there's no bleeding. Vessels ligated as necessary. Specimen was placed in a bottle of formalin. Was sent for pathology and or margin analysis. Now, if it was Mohs, right there it would have stopped and he would have waited on the pathologist to come back with whether it was clear or not, negative or positive. But this isn't Mohs. In order to prevent dehiscence due to wound tension, here's the key word: an intermediate layered closure was performed. Remember, excision of our lesions all include simple. This one specifically tells you intermediate, so we've got to report that as well. Shows you that 740 sutures were placed subcuticularly, utilizing the simple inverted interrupted stitch, and then 740 nylon were placed cutaneously, utilizing a simple interrupted stitch. You'll get to the point when you start understanding the terminology and everything that you didn't need them to tell you an intermediate layer closure was performed with that 4O polysore sub Q and then the 4O nylon cutaneous. That right there tells you. The final length of the surgical repair was 2.5, circle that. The surgical site was cleansed with saline, sterile dressing was applied, gauze, tape, pressure. Patient tolerated procedure well, post-op instructions given, instructed to return in 9 days for suture removal, and then the lesion treatment. The lesion on the left dorsal forearm, underline that, cleansed with alcohol, anesthesia, I can't say it, anesthetized with lidocaine and electrodesiccated and curetted. So right here we've got destruction. Circle that, it says times 3. But it's one lesion. We'll get into that a little bit later. Appropriate dressing was applied and post-op instructions was given. Final defect measures 0.9 centimeters in sight. Underline that. Patient tolerated both procedures. Recommended routine skin exam in 3 months. Patient released in good condition. All right. So out of all of that, your keywords, we've got 2 procedures that were performed. It says in our procedures performed that they were both excisions. But that second lesion, that lesion treatment on the left dorsal forearm, that was a destruction. That wasn't an excision. The electrodesiccated, they burn it, and then they curette it. They dig it out. There was never an incision made, and there was never a repair made. So that right there is a destruction. This one above, remember we've got melanoma in situ of the left dorsal forearm, which is the destruction, and then basal cell carcinoma of the right lower leg. So our excision for that lesion is going to lead us where? Think about that and whether or not you need repairs or whatever. Y'all try to code that out real quick. What? Y'all want me to go through it with y'all?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm lost.
All right.
I guess it's been 2 days. And then you may want to wait, let them find it, and then you go.
Do y'all think y'all can do it? Do you know? Yeah, no. I'll let y'all try for a second, and we'll go through it. And what's good about the study guide is it actually will, you know, I'll skip around everything, but the study guide will go step by step for you. Check. know some of y'all aren't still working on it, but 11602 is primary. 12031 secondary. And then destruction code was 17261. Alright. There's a 51 modifier on that 12031.
So we're going to as well.
031 with the modifier 51.
Why was that?
Because there's a multiple procedural amendment. Wait a minute. Yeah.
And explain how
This
you
is the
got
wrong
all that.
one. Okay. Remember when we were going through it, I'm like, all right, underline this, is your key words. First of all, the things we underline our procedures performed at the very top, the excision of melanoma in situ, left dorsal forearm, and the excision of layer closure with right lower leg. However, that's why you can't always go based upon your procedures performed. And the provider a lot of times put colonoscopy, and if you read down in there, they do biopsies, which gives you totally